Okay, so I'm going to move on to a new topic, and I wanted to do a little bit of review on some of the type tools that we looked at last time in class, specifically threading, and then there were two other topics that I wanted to go over regarding Illustrator and typography. And I think I have about a half hour or so, so not close to a half hour. Let's see how far I can get. So the first one is threading. So we looked at, and I wasn't sure if this was clear, that's why I want to go over it again. So I want to go over what's referred to as threading. And threading is when you have a block of text or a box of text, and it's actually connected to another box of text. And so the text is threaded from one box to another, to another, to another. If it was a really large document, let's say it's a 20-page catalog, and it was like one consistent like thought or text document that your client gave you, all of those pages and all of those boxes would be one long thread. So it's really important to get a sense of how this works, how that feature functions, and to become comfortable with it. And so we're sort of introducing it here for the first time in Illustrator, but I wasn't sure if it was as clear as I wanted it to be, so I wanted to go over it one more time. I wanted to share another sort of like thing to consider when you're working with copy, because in many cases, the copy is not something that you've written. You're working with a client, and they're the ones that are giving you the copy, right? Companies are using Microsoft products, Office products for the content that they're going to give you. So I'm going to work with a Word file, and it's problematic to work with text from a Word file. And part of the issues is that Word has Microsoft formatting in it. And some of the formatting is universal formatting, and some of it is not. Now, to make that even worse, the Adobe products try to take advantage of the Word formatting. So they're trying to be smart. So in other words, they're like, well, there's a header here, and there's a paragraph there, and there's a paragraph break. So I'm going to try to understand that and those sizes. And when you copy and paste the text from Word into an Adobe product, I would say it works about 90% of the time. But the problem is there's a 10% that doesn't work. And that's that 10% that's going to create a problem. And it's going to create such a big problem, and it's going to happen at the worst moment possible, that it's best to just not use Word formatting. So what we want to do is strip the formatting from the Word document. So I want to share with you how I strip the formatting from my text. Okay, so you don't have to do this, but if you don't do this, you are opening yourself up to a world of headache later on, because you're going to try to change the text or modify the text, and it's not going to do what you want it to do, and it's because it's relying on Word formatting. And InDesign specifically does have a remove format button or feature or option. So it purges the formatting, but it won't get rid of that Word format that is sort of native to Word. Like, it doesn't know what to do with it. So the only way to get rid of the formatting or to really control it and know that you trust it is to start with ASCII text or binary text, which has no formatting at all. All right, so you'll notice that I have Hipster Ipsum loaded here, right? And this has a cascading style sheet on it. So that's why it looks the way that it does. And there's some sort of formatting here that's describing the paragraph break. I don't know what it is. So I'm just going to copy and paste this and then strip the formatting out of it. I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so I'll select the text. I didn't do a very good job of that. I'll select the text. So this is what I would do with Word. I would highlight the document or highlight, what it is that I was going to copy. Maybe it's Command A to select all the text at once. So you can see I selected all the text, and I'm going to go to Edit Copy. Right, so I just copied it off of my menu. You could hit Command C, your hotkeys. Right, now I'm going to jump to Text Edit. So you can see that I pasted the content in here. Now, this is still formatted text. And the reason that I know it's formatted text is that in the software, I can see, for example, bold, and it says times, and I can see all these like formatting features in this software. Once again, I'm in TextEdit. You can do this in the Microsoft products. I think Notepad by default already rips or strips all of the formatting off of it. So what I'm going to do now, you'll notice there's an option for TextEdit that says Format. And you'll notice that there's a submenu that says Make Plain Text. So I'm going to hit Make Plain Text. And when I do this, it says, are you sure you want to do this? It's going to remove any of the stuff from this. I'm going to hit OK. So notice it looks very different now, doesn't it? Now it looks like ASCII or binary text. It doesn't look like Times. It doesn't look like a font face. It looks like the screen is generating it from like pixels. Right. So this is clean text. There's no formatting in it. There still are some breaks that define where the paragraphs are. And I'm going to then copy this again, Command A, Command C, or you can do Edit, Select All, Copy. And so now I'm going to jump to Illustrator. And now I'm going to hit Paste. So this is the copy that I brought in from Hipster Ipsum. And I stripped or removed the formatting from it. So did that make sense, everybody? What just happened? I selected, created some text. It was a hypothetical. Maybe it was, let's pretend it was a Word doc for my client. I opened up that text, copied it, pasted it into another text editor, a simple text editor, and I removed the formatting. From there, I copied it again, and now I brought it into my software. Now I know there's no strange formatting. I know it's clean. I know it's exactly the way that it should be for me to begin formatting the text myself.